The 3 a.m. stillness and what your body is trying to whisper to you. Age 71 is not a sentence. Eleanor Pierce used to believe that insomnia was simply part of getting older. In those quiet nights, she would sit at the edge of her bed, hands gently folded together out of habit. The soft glow from her digital clock cast light on her wrinkled face. 3:17 a.m. It was the third time she'd woken up at that hour this week. There was no loud noise, no nightmare, just awake and unable to fall back asleep. At first, she blamed her age. But slowly, Eleanor began to notice something odd. Her body wasn't just restless. It was trying to tell her something, gently, but urgently. If you're an older woman, and you often find yourself awake between 3 and 5 a.m., you're not alone. Each night, millions of women over 60 around the world open their eyes during these very hours. In the dark, they sit up, they wander into the kitchen, or they lie still, eyes wide open, as if waiting for something that hasn't arrived yet. Some say it's stress, others blame hormones, some even turn to spiritual explanations. But here's something that's rarely talked about. What if your body is trying to speak to you in its quiet language? And what if, by truly listening, you could turn those moments from confusion into healing, from despair into hope? As an internist who has studied sleep for over 40 years, I never take lightly what happens between 3 and 5 a.m. These were the words of Dr. Samuel Hartman, age 76, spoken with a warm voice in an online seminar Eleanor happened to stumble upon during yet another sleepless night on YouTube. We used to think sleep was simply about shutting down, but in truth, when the body repairs itself, the mind reorders things, and emotions find their way back to balance. He paused. And when you wake up at the exact time your nervous system is meant to be at rest, it's rarely by accident. Eleanor began to pay attention. She wrote down the time she woke up, the sensations in her body, the thoughts that came first to her mind, how the temperature in the room made her feel. And little by little she realized this wasn't a problem to push through. It was a message from within. Now 3 months into a few gentle changes, Eleanor not only falls back asleep more easily, she feels more alert during the day, less anxious, and perhaps most importantly, she no longer feels alone in the middle of the night. So, if you're here, reading or listening to these words on a quiet night, maybe you've asked yourself too, why do I keep waking up at 3 a.m.? Is it just old age? Or is my body trying to warn me about something? What should I do when it happens? The answer is not to ignore it anymore. Because your body isn't betraying you. It's speaking to you. In the next part, you'll join Eleanor and many other women like her on a journey through 5 essential things you can do when you wake up at night. These are not tricks, not hacks, but gentle, simple, and meaningful rituals to help bring your body back into balance and return your mind to a place of peace. If you've ever woken up between 3 and 5 a.m., leave a comment below with the word yes. Don't be afraid to share. You're not alone in this journey, and if you feel this video might help other women like you, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. At Graceful Aging Co., we share weekly habits, inspiring stories, and simple but powerful medical insights to help you live a healthier and more meaningful life after 60. Because aging isn't the end of your story, it's a new chapter, and you deserve to write it beautifully. Now, let's begin this journey. Not by forcing sleep, but by awakening differently. Chapter 1. Don't try to sleep. Wake up differently. Diane Sutter, age 68, had a familiar yet exhausting habit. She would squeeze her eyes shut, hold her breath in the silence, and pray for sleep to return. Each time she couldn't understand, why would her body, so clearly in need of rest, refuse its own need? She didn't drink coffee at night. She avoided screens before bed. Her bed was clean, comfortable, and inviting. And yet, every night around 3 a.m., she would jolt awake. No noise, no nightmare, just a distinct feeling, as if she was woken up by herself. Diane tried everything. I'm lying completely still, counting sheep, telling herself, I'm tired, I will fall back asleep. But the more she tried, the wider her eyes stayed open. Her heart would beat faster. Her body felt restless, like ants crawling under her skin. By 4:30, she would give up, sitting up in bed, drained, as if something had slowly pulled every bit of energy out of her. Maybe you felt like Diane, and if so, I want to share something important. The more you try to sleep, the harder it becomes, and it's not your fault. According to Dr. Samuel Hartman, waking up in the middle of the night, especially between 3 and 5 a.m., is often tied to the body's cortisol rhythm. Cortisol is the stress hormone, he explains, but it's also part of our internal clock. Usually, cortisol begins to rise gradually between 3 and 4 a.m. to help the body prepare to wake up. But if you have underlying stress, are going through hormonal changes like menopause, or if your body hasn't properly relaxed before bed, that cortisol can spike too early, jolting you awake. And once you're up in that state, lying there trying to sleep is like adding fuel to the fire. Trying to sleep is unnatural, Dr. Hartman says. When you lie there checking the time, worrying about the morning, you activate your sympathetic nervous system. In other words, you become more awake. Let's take a closer look at what happens. You open your eyes. The clock says 3:23 a.m. You think, if I fall asleep now, I still have 3 hours. 10 minutes pass. You check again. Only 2 hours and 50 minutes left. Your heart beats faster. A tightness forms in your chest. Your fingers grip the blanket. You may not realize it, but your body has entered a state of alert. What you need now isn't sleep. You need to break the biological cycle that's been triggered. And to do that, you don't need to control your sleep. You need to change how you respond to waking up. A simple but powerful practice. Step 1. Gently sit up. You don't have to get out of bed. Just prop yourself up and lean back against your pillows. This sends a clear message to the brain. I'm no longer stuck. I'm choosing to respond. Step 2. Try the 4 to 6 breath. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold gently for 1 to 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeat for 5 cycles. Why 4 to 6? Because this breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest and digest, the opposite of fight or flight. Step 3. Don't lie back down if you still feel restless. If you're not sleepy after 10 to 15 minutes, do something soft and soothing. Write a few thoughts in a notebook. Gently stretch while sitting in bed. Listen to calming sounds, but avoid screens. Blue light will wake you more. The goal is not to force yourself back to sleep. The goal is to create space for sleep to return, naturally. After speaking with Dr. Hartman, Diane gave this method a try. The next time she woke at 3:05 a.m., she didn't squeeze her eyes shut. Instead, she sat up, leaned back, breathed gently, touched her belly and listened to her breath. And to her surprise, within 15 minutes, Sleep returned like a gentle breeze. "It felt like I wasn't fighting myself anymore," she said. "I felt lighter, like my body was finally being heard." You may have never considered needing to wake up the right way. But sometimes, the key is in not forcing. Your body isn't broken, it's just been misunderstood. And if you take the time to listen, to adjust with care, you might find not only better sleep, but clearer mornings, steadier emotions, and a sense of peace you thought you'd lost. So next time, when the clock blinks 3 a.m., what will you do? You can lie there, frustrated, exhausted, counting every passing minute. Or you can try something different. Wake gently. Wake with awareness. Wake with kindness. If you've ever tried sitting up to relax instead of forcing sleep, comment yes below. If you haven't, comment not yet and try it tonight. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to hit subscribe for more gentle guidance on sleep, health, and emotional well-being. At Graceful Aging Co., we believe growing older is a chance to live more slowly, but more deeply. You don't need to force sleep. You need to sleep the right way and wake at the right time. Chapter 2. Drink water, but don't do it the wrong way. Nora Wells, age 73, often woke up at exactly 3:40 a.m. with a sensation she could no longer ignore. A mouth so dry, it felt like she'd spent the night walking through a desert. She lay still, listening to her heart beating faster than usual and a quiet wave of anxiety rising in her chest. No strange dreams, no noise from outside. Just a deep, unmistakable thirst and unease pulling her out of sleep. When it happened again and again during the week, Nora began to wonder if this was just part of aging. But deep down, she sensed her body was trying to send a message, a gentle reminder that something needed her attention. And maybe the answer was something as simple as water. Our bodies continue to lose water even while we sleep. Through every breath, every tiny bead of sweat we can't even see. And for older adults, the internal signal that warns of dehydration becomes weaker over time. That's why if you wake with dry lips, thirst, or a vague sense of restlessness, there's a good chance your body is whispering, "I'm low on water." Dr. Samuel Hartman explains that when hydration dips below a safe threshold, basic physiological functions begin to falter. Heart rate increases, body temperature fluctuates, and essential electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium start falling out of balance. These minerals are what help your nerves and muscles function smoothly. When they're off, you may feel jittery, unsettled, or slightly shaky, even though you had no nightmares and no apparent reason for waking. This state doesn't just pull you from sleep, it also makes it much harder to return to it. So when this happens, you don't need to suffer through it or toss and turn. What you need is to reconnect with one small but powerful habit: drinking water. But doing it the right way. When they wake in the middle of the night, many people leave bed, walk to the kitchen, and pour a cold glass of water. It's understandable, but it's also a mistake. According to Dr. Hartman, introducing cold water to a body that's in a relaxed, nighttime state can create a mild thermal shock. It stimulates the stomach. It triggers your sympathetic nervous system. In short, it wakes you up even more. What you should do instead, place a small bottle of room temperature or slightly warm water by your bedside before sleeping. When you wake, sit up gently. Take a few small sips. Let the water soothe your dry throat, pass through your chest, and quietly begin to nourish your weary system. Warm water acts like a kind companion, awakening without alarm. And if you want to go one step further, add a tiny pinch of natural sea salt to your water. Not table salt, but Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt. Just a few grains are enough to provide gentle trace minerals without overloading your kidneys. This can help restore your electrolyte balance, the very thing your body was asking for in the first place. If you don't like salt, a few drops of fresh lemon juice can also help. Lemon contains potassium and supports digestion, both of which slow down naturally at night. The soft citrus scent may even lift your spirit gently, without overstimulating your senses. Nora gave it a try. Before bed, she prepared a small flask of warm water with a few drops of lemon each night. She kept it by her bedside. She didn't walk to the kitchen if she woke up during the night. No harsh light. There are no jarring motions, just a reach, a sip, a breath. Then, she would rest her head again. Within a week, she noticed she was falling back asleep more easily. She felt less drained in the mornings. Her mood felt lighter. Another helpful option, especially for those needing more than a few sips of water, is chamomile tea. Chamomile, a small flower with quiet power, contains a compound called apigenin. This compound binds to GABA receptors in the brain, the same neurological locks that open the door to relaxation and calm. You can brew a cup in the evening, let it cool in a thermos next to your bed, and drink a few warm sips if you wake. Not too much, just enough to soothe your throat and calm your thoughts. The gentle floral scent may help distract your mind from those restless 4 a.m. spirals. The warmth in your belly is a signal to your nervous system. You're safe. You can rest again. One important reminder: whatever you drink, don't drink too much. Taking in too much water at once might send you back to the bathroom later, interrupting sleep all over again. Drink as if it's a ritual of kindness. It is not a midnight emergency. Your body isn't asking for a cloud solution. It simply needs your care in the form of a few sips of warm water, a pinch of salt, a bit of tea. These small acts might be the difference between a sleepless night and one that slowly begins to heal. And if you're wondering whether this will make a difference, just try it. Before bed, prepare a small thermos of warm water or chamomile tea by your bed tonight. Notice how your body responds. Does your mind soften? Does sleep return a little easier? Sometimes, what you need isn't deep sleep right away, but a gentle way to lead your body back into the rhythm of peace. If you've ever tried sipping something to help yourself sleep again, leave a comment below. Just one word: water, tea, or nothing yet. And if this message spoke to you, don't forget to click subscribe to walk with us at Graceful Aging Co. on your journey to care for body and soul after age 60. We believe that the simplest things, when done the right way, can become quiet little miracles. You don't have to fight sleep. Just walk alongside it with gentle listening and one sip at a time. Chapter 3. When emotions don't sleep, the body can't rest. Loretta Miles, age 75, had long stopped counting the times she woke up at 4 a.m. She didn't have back pain. She didn't need the bathroom. There was no apparent reason for her to wake. And yet, her eyes would open in the darkness. And the very first thing she felt was emptiness. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't fear. Just a hollow space, as if something inside her had been left unfinished. She would lie there, staring at the ceiling, trying to name the feeling. But there were no clear words, just a quiet unease. She would get up, pour water, or change her pillow some nights. But the emptiness stayed. On other nights, she would burrow deeper under the blanket, hoping to hide from the vague discomfort. But hiding only made it more real. Then, one day, during a gentle wellness session at a local healing center, she heard something that surprised her. A traditional Eastern medicine doctor explained that, according to traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, the hours between 3 and 5 a.m. are when the lungs are most active. But in TCM, the lungs are not just for breathing. They are also the seat of grief, longing, and unprocessed emotion. And suddenly, it all began to make sense. Loretta had lost her husband 7 years ago. She had 2 children, both living far away. And part of her always felt she had to be strong, calm, composed, okay. She had never cried in front of anyone, never complained. But perhaps, in those silent hours when the world was still asleep, her emotions had found their way to the surface. When asked about the link between emotions and sleep, Dr. Samuel Hartman shared that modern science is beginning to support what has traditional medicine long been known. Neuroscience studies have shown that during deep sleep, the brain keeps working, especially the limbic system, the part responsible for processing emotion. If during the day you push away feelings, burying them in tasks, in smiles, in what must get done, then at night, when there's no more noise, your brain begins to clean house. And if there's something unfinished, a buried sadness, a repressed memory, a worry unspoken, that may be the very reason you wake up at 4 a.m. Loretta began to observe herself, and then, instead of lying there in silence, she placed a small notebook and pen beside her bed. The next time she woke up, she sat up gently, leaned back against her pillow, and wrote down the first 3 thoughts that came to her mind. They didn't have to be poetic. They didn't have to be grammatically perfect. They just had to be honest. I feel empty. I miss John, and I'm afraid to admit it. I don't want just to pass the time waiting. And strangely enough, after she finished writing, she felt a sense of ease, no more tightness in her chest. Her heartbeat slowed. Moments later, she set the notebook aside, pulled the blanket up, and sleep returned. Like an old friend finally coming home. Writing down your thoughts isn't about solving everything. It's about opening the door, like holding a box filled with tears and sighs, and gently lifting the lid so the pressure can soften. Dr. Hartman calls it externalizing cognition. Taking your thoughts out of your head so your brain no longer has to wrestle with them in silence. Researchers at the University of Rochester found that writing about emotions for just 15 minutes a day can significantly reduce anxiety and improve sleep quality. And if you want to go one step further, you can pair writing with a simple release breathing exercise. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. And while exhaling, gently whisper to yourself, I release this for now. You don't have to forget. You don't have to move on. Just set it down for now. Like closing a sad book and placing it by your bed, saying, I'll reread this when I'm ready. Loretta no longer feared her 4 a.m. awakenings. She now calls them the times when my heart knocks. And she's learned how to listen, gently, without judgment. You can begin tonight. Just a notebook, a pen, and a few quiet minutes to ask, is there something in me that wants to be written down? You don't need perfect words. You need truth. Because sleep isn't a reward for forgetting how you feel. It's what returns naturally when you give your emotions space to breathe. So next time, when you wake at 3:47 a.m. and your heart feels heavy, your spirit low, try this. Sit up, write 3 lines, breathe, and whisper, I'm still okay. If you've ever woken up and felt a sadness you couldn't explain, comment below. I've been there, not for sympathy, but as a quiet reminder to yourself, you are not alone. And if this quiet path toward healing feels meaningful to you, don't forget to hit subscribe to stay with us at Graceful Aging Co. We are here to walk beside you through the long nights and gently, surely, back into the light. Because when emotions don't sleep, the body cannot rest. But if you learn to listen, to soothe, and to let go, then you too can lead yourself back to peace. Chapter 4. Tense Body. Just 3 minutes to gently reset. Grace Langley, age 77, used to think her body aches were simply part of getting older. The stiffness in her neck, the sudden calf cramps, the numb tingling in her hands when she woke up at night. She believed they were just what came with turning 70. But when those symptoms made it impossible to fall back asleep, when every morning felt like she had survived a battle instead of a night of rest, Grace began to ask herself, is there another way? The answer came one afternoon during a gentle yoga class for seniors. As she practiced deep breathing and slow movement, the instructor said something that shifted everything. Your body isn't stiff because of age. It's stiff because it's forgotten it can be soft again. That single sentence changed the way Grace saw her sleepless nights. Many older adults wake in the night not because of nightmares or emotions, but because of physical tension, muscles tight from hours of stillness, nerves slightly irritated, circulation slowed, nerves compressed, blood flow restricted, muscles left unmoved. All of it adds up to discomfort, cramping calves, tingling fingers, stiff necks, all quietly pulling you out of sleep. And when this happens, lying still and trying harder to sleep only worsens things. Instead of staying frozen in a tense body, you can do something surprisingly simple. Reset your nervous system in just 3 minutes. Grace learned this from her physical therapist, a man who had worked with long-term insomnia patients. He said, "Sleep doesn't return to a body that thinks it needs to run. And the more you lie still and tighten your muscles to tough it out, the more confusing the signals you send to your nervous system." So what do you do when you wake up at night and feel stiffness in your neck, a pulsing in your calves, or a tingling in your hands? Step 1. Sit up. You don't have to leap from bed. Just prop yourself up gently with your hands. Lean back into your pillow. Let your body shift gears. Step 2. Start with the neck. Imagine your head is a warm, full cup of tea. You don't want to spill it. Swirl it gently. Inhale slowly. Lower your chin softly toward your chest. Exhale. Turn your head to the right, bringing your ear toward your shoulder. Inhale. Return to center. Exhale. Turn left. Go slow. Notice the little clicks. Those are your joints saying thank you. Step 3. Move to your shoulders. The shoulders often carry years of quiet tension, especially for those used to holding it all together. Raise your shoulders like you're trying to touch your ears. Hold for 1 second. Exhale, release. Let the heaviness drop. Repeat 3 times. Let each exhale be a quiet letting go. Step 4. Gently stretch your legs. If you often get leg cramps or tight calves, this is your moment to bring circulation back. While sitting on your bed, extend one leg forward. Gently lean toward your toes. Don't force it, just enough to feel your calf lengthen. Hold for 5 seconds. Breathe. Switch sides. This simple stretch wakes up your muscles, releases nerve pressure, and helps blood flow return where your body needs it. Step 5. Warm your hands, then your feet. Rub your palms together like you're kindling fire from your warmth. Feel the heat rise quickly. Then place those warm hands over your feet. Let the warmth travel downward. This isn't just a physical act. It's a message to your brain. I'm safe. There is no danger. We can rest again. Grace began doing these movements whenever she woke in the night. Not every night, just whenever her body felt off. And each time, after just a few minutes, she found that not only did sleep return more easily, but she woke up feeling like her body was no longer fighting her, but working with her. These small practices, just a few minutes, might be the missing piece you've never tried. No gym, no equipment, no complicated techniques, just a little listening, a little movement, and a lot of kindness toward yourself. If you've ever believed aging meant stiffness, let your body show you something different. You have to begin. Which movement will you try first? Leave just one word below: roll, stretch, or warm. And if you found this guide helpful, don't forget to click subscribe to stay connected with Graceful Aging Co., where even the smallest practices can bring the most significant changes to your later years. No good sleep comes from forcing it. But sleep does return when you create space for your body to breathe, release, and soften again. Just 3 minutes. And a little gentleness. Chapter 5. The right sound brings a quiet mind. Some nights, there's no pain, no thirst, no muscle tightness. Your body lies still. But inside your head, a quiet storm begins to stir. Thoughts you didn't invite suddenly show up. You remember something you said 3 days ago. The unpaid bill is on the counter. A missed call from your daughter you meant to return last week. Little things. But at 4 a.m., they feel as big as mountains. Ellen Green, age 72, knew this feeling all too well. She used to lie awake for hours, trapped in a stream of thoughts with no finish line. She tried counting sheep, deep breathing, flipping pillows, stacking them. But the harder she tried to silence her mind, the louder it became. She didn't understand why her thoughts would wait for the one time of day that should be the most peaceful to show up uninvited. Dr. Samuel Hartman explained that this isn't unusual. It's a perfectly natural response from the brain. When you wake between 3 and 5 a.m., the world around you is still asleep. There are no sounds, no sunlight. So the brain, having nothing to anchor to externally, starts looking inward. If there's no sound, no light, no soft focus for the mind to rest on, then the brain's default mode network, the area responsible for memory, worry, and imagination, begins to switch on. You didn't ask it to, but it starts anyway. When Ellen heard this, she said, "So it's not me. My head's just too empty." And she was right. Too much silence can be the enemy of a tired mind. It becomes the perfect soil for anxious thoughts to grow. That's where sound becomes your ally. But not just any sound. Turning on the TV or playing upbeat music at 4 a.m., it will likely make things worse. And scrolling your phone? The blue light alone is enough to wake your entire nervous system. What you need is a sound that's gentle enough to lead your mind, but steady enough not to stimulate it. One of the most recommended choices in sleep science is pink noise. Unlike white noise, which is high-pitched and sharp, pink noise has a warmer, more natural tone. It might sound like steady rainfall, ocean waves, wind rustling softly through leaves. These sounds don't demand attention, but they fill the space, so your brain no longer has to. When you listen to pink noise, your brain waves tend to sync with the rhythm. Studies show it encourages slow wave activity, the hallmark of deep, restorative sleep. It doesn't just help you fall asleep faster, It helps you sleep better. Ellen downloaded a pink noise track and connected it to a small bedside speaker. That night, she woke at 3:51 a.m. Instead of letting her thoughts spiral, she turned on the speaker, closed her eyes, and let the sound of rain carry her away. If pink noise isn't your favorite, there's another soft tool, the audiobook. But choose wisely. You want something with a flat, steady voice. No drama, no music, no plot twists. Think nature essays, plain science topics, gentle body scan meditations. When your brain has something boring but safe to focus on, it stops worrying. Just like giving a restless child a rattle, so they stop running wild. Choose a book with a monotone narrator. Avoid dramatic pauses or surprising sounds. If you use a phone, download the file ahead of time. Put your device in airplane mode and silence all notifications. You're not trying to stay awake for messages, you're trying to rest. Another option, a short guided meditation, just 5 to 10 minutes. A calm voice guiding you through your breath, your feet, your calves, your shoulders, and helping each part relax. You don't need to know how to meditate. You don't need to sit cross-legged. Just lie back, listen, and let yourself drift. The magic isn't in the words, it's in the rhythm. You're giving your brain one slow, gentle task, something safe, simple, and soothing. That's what turns off the noise. Ellen tried a 5-minute meditation one restless night. She thought she'd need to hear the whole thing. But before minute 3, she had already drifted off. The next morning, she laughed to herself. I guess that meditation guy was boring enough to put me to sleep. If you're worried about using your phone at night, consider a sleep sound machine, something preloaded or Bluetooth ready without a screen, and set it up before bed so you're not fumbling for apps at 4 a.m. The right sound isn't your favorite music. It's the one that gently hushes your thoughts. The one that says, you don't have to think right now. Just rest. It doesn't need to be exciting. Just steady. Just soft. And most importantly, it helps you feel less alone in your mind. So, what do you listen to when you can't sleep? Leave just one word in the comments. Rain, meditation, or book. And if these suggestions have helped your sleep, don't forget to hit subscribe to stay connected with Graceful Aging Co. We're here not just to help you sleep, but to help you understand your body more deeply, night by night, moment by moment. Not every night needs medicine. Sometimes, all you need is the right sound to bring your brain gently back to peace. Final chapter. Every wake-up is a whisper of healing and connection. There's something strange, something only those who've woken in the middle of the night truly understand. These hours don't belong to logic. They belong to the heart, memory, and the quiet things inside us that finally find a voice. Not loud, but impossible to ignore. Eleanor Pierce had lived through nearly everything we've talked about. She knew the 3 a.m. wake-ups, the sudden thirst that led her hand to the water glass, the emptiness with no name, the tension in her shoulders. The thoughts rushed in like a waterfall when her body was still. But now, 3 months into gently practicing the 5 small steps we've explored, Eleanor sleeps better. She no longer panics when the clock reads 3:27 a.m. Instead, she welcomes the moment as a quiet reminder that she is still alive, that her body is asking to be heard, and that she has the power to respond differently. Sometimes she sits up, takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her pillow, and lies back down. On other nights, she takes a small sip of warm lemon water. Sometimes she rubs her palms together to warm her feet or jots a few lines in the notebook by her bed. And some nights, She softly plays the sound of rain through her bedside speaker. She doesn't do all of it, just one thing. But that one gentle, intentional act is enough to bring sleep back home. Dr. Samuel Hartman reminds us, sleep isn't just flipping off a switch in the brain. It's a living process, a time when the body is repaired, emotions are filtered, and things left unsaid in daylight are soothed in the silence. So every time you wake at night, it's not a failure. It's an opportunity to reconnect with yourself. We've walked through 5 small but meaningful steps and met 5 women with 5 very human stories. We met Diane Sutter, who discovered that the harder she tried to sleep, the more her body resisted, until she learned to sit up, breathe, and treat wakefulness as something temporary, not terrifying. We followed Nora Wells, who realized that thirst wasn't just dry lips. It was the nervous system, the bloodstream, quietly calling for care. And that with a few warm sips of water, a pinch of salt or lemon, or a sip of chamomile tea, the body could soften, like being gently comforted. We listened to Loretta Miles, who found that her midnight emptiness had roots in unspoken grief, and that by writing just 3 honest lines, breathing deeply and whispering, "I release this for now," she could bring her emotions back to safety. We learned from Grace Langley, who showed us that sleep can't return to a body still bracing for battle, and that, with just a few soft movements, a turn of the neck, a roll of the shoulders, a stretch of the calves, a touch of warmth to the feet, her body began to trust again. And finally, we sat beside Ellen Green in those 4 a.m. moments when the mind runs wild with nameless thoughts. She taught us that instead of trying to stop the thinking, we can gently redirect it with the sound of rain, a slow reading voice, or a 5-minute guided meditation. 5 steps, 5 people, 1 truth. When you listen to your body with kindness, quiet miracles unfold. Not loud, but real. We won't tell you that you'll never wake up at 3 a.m. again. But the difference is, you'll no longer feel lost. You'll no longer scramble for sleep as if it's something far away. You'll know how to sit with yourself, to breathe, to adjust. Let your body return gently to balance. Because if you look closely, every middle of the night moment is a quiet message that you're alive, that you still feel, that healing is possible, soft, steady, and entirely within your reach. Eleanor now says she no longer dreads 3 a.m. She calls it the hour of kindness, the moment she is most gentle with herself all day. And from that kindness, sleep returns, not as something forced, but as a natural outcome of understanding. You can begin that journey tonight, not with everything, just with one thing, one small step, one gentle shift in how you care for yourself. And if you've made it this far, tell me, which step will you try first? Leave just one word in the comments below. Let's turn the 3 a.m. hour into the most precious part of your healing journey. If this video brought you comfort, share it with someone you love, especially a woman who might be quietly facing sleepless nights alone. And don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications, because no one should wake up alone in the dark. Graceful Aging Co. will be here through every night, every breath, every step. Because aging isn't slowing down. It's coming home to your truth, to your depth, to your quiet gentleness with yourself.